there ends up with enough debris on the ground after 50 years that natural fire can rage, you know, and it does. I'm from Washington. I grew up wildfires every year, all the time, and it is a natural process. This section's hasn't burned in 30 years. Well, either protect it or it's going to burn.
Well, 4 years ago, Donald Trump went over and talked to everybody about this, and he said we got to actually do something about this because there's going to be a big wildfire soon if you guys don't maintain this. And
Yeah.
there also wasn't the structure involved to take care of the fire once it started. And then on top of that, all the insurance companies were dropping people from their insurance that were covered on fire damage, and they go, "Oh, okay, why were they getting dropped from their insurance? Oh, Gavin Newsom
Because
was
it's
putting
time.
caps." Well, no, Gavin Newsom was putting caps on the insurance companies so they couldn't maintain business in the area. So the governor himself was forcing the companies out of the area. It's just like, oh,
Well, I
you got
know
a
in
melting pot of
Washington,
problems.
your insurance goes up per year that your area hasn't burned,
Yeah, because it's
and
overdue.
they don't do anything about it. It's not like they go clean up that underbrush. You know,
But if the governor of
it
Washington put a
costs too
cap on it,
much.
but yeah, if the governor of Washington put a cap on it, the fucking insurance companies would pull out
Yeah.
if they couldn't raise their prices.
And same with the flood zones.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sure
Well,
you live in an area that has flood zones.
how stupid do humans have to be? Well, I've never understood why we live on the coast like this. Humans are so dumb. The majority of our population is all on coastlines or in like natural disaster areas.
I
The dumb
mean,
people that
why
live in
would you
hurricane
live?
areas and
Why I'm a Washingtonian. Why would you live in Tacoma or Seattle, knowing that is a volcanic drift area and this volcano can
Pride.
go off any time? You know.
the risk is lower. Like when it comes to the super volcano in the United States, everybody in the United States is going to die if that super volcano goes off. Doesn't really matter how close you are to it.
No, I mean it will
Is
wipe
it
out
so pride? Like at the
most
end of the
everything.
day, like why would you do that? Like if
Yo-
you're
Yosemite,
legitimately,
because
it's
what is
kind of,
Yosemite? Oh, isn't it Yosemite was supposed to go off
so
already? It's like overdue.
Yeah, it's 40 years overdue right now,
Yeah,
which
and it's
ain't
supposed to be one
really
of the biggest
shit in
active.
time, but
Well, yeah, it's like supposed to be one of the biggest active volcanoes in all of North America, and
it's the
yeah, it would wipe out the whole continent.
largest volcano on the planet.
Is it? Wow, that's still
No,
active.
that's still active. Yeah, there's another one over in Russia. That's all I can describe it as. But northern Russia has another super volcano over there, and it's basically a bullet through the planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's the way things work, is through the planet.
wait, how does things work? Because I'm interested.
Um, balance.
I
Our
always
our
think about it.
planet
It's
How
our
like
does it,
a
how
planet
does it work?
our planet rotates because of balance. And
So you're
um,
talking about natural causes. You're not talking about human sort of
oh no, not human.
interference.
This is the way it is.
yeah,
Yo,
but
Um,
yo,
you have
I'll tell you
magnetic
something,
field
right?
and
there's many
sorry.
hot
I,
spots around the planet. Like Hawaii's a hot spot.
yo, look,
Yellowstone's a hot spot.
I
Okay,
went to a
if you
meeting
look
the other
through
day,
the
right?
planet, straight through the planet, there's a hot spot on the other side.
I went to a
Balance.
meeting the other day, right? And they tried to recruit me to work for a nuclear plant in Switzerland, and they were talking some real shit. I was just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like they're breaking this shit down. There is a nuclear plant, right?
Are you talking about
Yeah.
the Hadron
Yo,
Collider that's under Switzerland?
hey.
Are you talking about the Hadron Collider that's under Switzerland?
I ain't gonna speak specifics. I'm just saying that they were like, "Yo, this is an international fucking trade. Like, you could come over here. We're gonna recruit you. You're not gonna be able to even pay taxes. You don't need to pay taxes, right? we're international board. I was like, what? This shit blew my mind. I was like, what?
Yeah, the Hadron
what
Collider.
Organization?
The Hadron Collider that
It's
runs
off the
under
books.
Switzerland. It's off the books, and it's because of how large it is. It covers multiple different countries. It's actually not just in Switzerland.
I was like, wow.
It runs clear across.
It's a joint.
What organization can you work for? You don't need to pay taxes all of a sudden.
People that are developing new forms of science.
Yo, they were like, yo, this shit is larger than the Eiffel Tower. We gotta break it down like every year. Or this shit, they're like, yo, you can come over. We got a whole village. Like, you just come over and all this shit. I was like, whoa, like what?
Yeah, basically what they're doing at the Hadron Collider is they're crashing particles into each other to see the half-lives of them.
They were breaking this shit down like, oh, there was some they were talking some shit about we run through regimes like this is like 99 times hotter than the sun.
Well, they're taking different elements and doing these impacts like the universe does.
Yeah, they were talking about Simon. They were talking about opening mini black holes with doing this stuff.
They've been worried about
beings. Like we keep talking about aliens and shit. Like they were breaking this.
This is where they developed the God particle. This is where there's a lot of stuff going on with the Hadron Colliders.
Wow,
there's more than one too, by the way.
Oh, well, we have so many elements. We have so many elements on this planet.
We did this. You know what I'm saying? We are the aliens. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. Like the way.
Well, I know we're the aliens. We don't belong here. We don't live with our environment. So we are the aliens.
Simon, are you religious, or were you raised religious?
I was raised religious. I ain't religious, but yeah.
Do you think it's dangerous for humans to get to a point where they are almost playing God at a certain point where they have control of?
We are God. We made that name up. We are God. What? Jesus Christ.
Do you think it
controls an illusion, though?
So what did you say, Jacob?
I'm saying, like, if you think of something like CRISPR, where we can genetically modify children to look the way we want them, and we can play God in that sense of creating life forms. Do you think in selecting specific things that we want them to have, as well as characteristics, DNA, and everything else, do you think we reach a point where we're playing God too much, where we're risking changing what makes us human?
We can't. The funny thing is we are God. We are that.
We are God. I am God.
We made that shirt.
Not we.
We made that shirt.
I am God.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I believe that because it's like, yo, I can't even detract from that. When someone turns around and tells me I'm God, I'm like, yo, you are, because
you are.
We no other being on God's green universe is gonna come over here and tell us anything different. We're gonna tell them, you know what God is. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you're staring at him. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what?
I do not disbelieve in upper beings. I can't not believe in upper beings. Religion's a whole different game. I mean, that's just, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not religious, but religion's kind of boring.
I do believe there are superior beings. They have to exist. We are a young solar system, and our lifespan is short compared to a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, we are so far from the start that there's got to be something else out there. You know?
There's had to be civilizations that have lived and prospered and disappeared all before we ever even existed, just by odds.
Yeah, well, as the common belief is, nothing ceases to exist. All energy and matter is recycled. All of it. So, a superior being, hey, We're only using 10, 11% of our brains. So we're idiots. Why do we have a brain? Why do we have a brain like we do, and we only use a little tiny bit of it?
Yeah, that's what you're told. I don't believe that. You know, we're told that we
store so much information.
I think that's a misdemeanor. Like, you know, it's a placebo. I don't think that, you know, based on the fact that it don't relate to everybody. So, you know, it's just a guideline most of the time. It's just like we can say like you don't. Who's you? You know what I mean? Like no one's putting out. It's like who's you? No one's gonna turn around and go, or you know, this percentage of people are capable of, because that's gonna blow everything out of water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think everybody's capable. I 100% believe that. I mean, I do. I think 100% everybody's capable, whether you have disability or not. You're still 100%.
That's not. That's not. This whole disability thing.
Them telling us we're only using 11% of our brain power, which they used to tell us is only 10%.
Well, I mean, I think over history, I think it's very common that humans are just describing things the way that they see them, and I think it's very possible that we encountered things that were more advanced than us, and we described them as gods, and that's how we explain a lot of our religion today. I just think anything
we
more
have no
advanced
choice,
than us,
and the proof's in the stone. It's simple as that. The proof is in the stone.
Any organization you work for, you're gonna have to sign some shit that says "shut the fuck up." You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, there is so much shit going on out here that you just gotta fucking speak on. You know what I'm saying? Like we're trying to dilly-dally around it, and we're trying to be as lenient as we can and respect the fact that we are, actually partial to this shit. But at the end of the day, like we can't really speak and go, okay, this is it, because it's gonna blow people's minds. Because people ain't ready for that shit. The moment you start speaking on some real, like, everyone's just like, yo, where's my cornflakes? You know what I'm saying? It's just no. Everyone wants some milk and cornflakes, right? When they wake up in the morning, it's just like, yo, I just want to get on. You know what I'm saying? No one's like, if you're actually dedicated, you're dedicated to this shit. I'm fucking dedicated. So it's just like, yo, I know where it is, but I don't want to make everyone partial to it, because why do you deserve that? Get along with your life. Just go and get them cornflakes. You know what I'm saying? Put that milk in the bowl. Like, get along. Wake up. Drag your kids to school. And do your shit. You know what I'm saying? Wait, Too
many people are worried about what other people's cornflakes are flavored with, and you know what I mean? You can't. Too many people are too worried about what's going on with others to just worry about themselves. If we had a society that just worried about themselves, it probably would be a little bit healthier, but eventually, it would fall apart. You can't just have a dog eat dog world.
You have a society that only worries about themselves.
No, they don't. No. You see that? You see? No, the thing is like, we look. The funny thing is like most people. This is why, like, you hear these scandals coming out like years after. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're signed up to some shit. You sign up to it. It's just like, yo, and most people don't really understand it when they're getting involved in it in the first place. So it's just like, yo, and then all of a sudden, oh, I see this, I see that, ooh. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I can't even say shit until, and then you see these old people coming up on TV programs, the news broadcasts and interviews go, oh yeah, but he did this to me, and like she did that to me. I was like, yo, did you see that shit in the first place? You must have seen that shit in the first place.
In the U.S., like,
why do you even watch that kind of crap?
Well, in the U.S.,
you watch it. Don't lie. You watch that shit. You damn well know what I'm talking about.
But think about it on a public forum. Think about it in a public forum, though, when you're talking about the U.S. Usually the people that are speaking out about things that they think are wrong are called liars for 25 years until the government finally reveals, oh, yeah, we were actually lying to you about that. This is what
We're just
actually
waiting
happened.
until they're dead to tell you about it.
So we don't have to pay back any of the people that we harmed. We'll tell you about the Tuskegee experiment after all the people involved have gotten syphilis and we've told them that we were going to treat them. We'll tell you about MK Ultra 25 years after everybody is dead.
Right.
Like, this is just how our government operates. So they will just gaslight you and tell you that you're a liar or you're crazy. And then eventually, when nobody's talking about it anymore, they'll be like, oh, yeah, guess what happened? That's what's happening right now with our president. He's getting ready to release what happened with JFK, what happened with MLK, and I think 9/11 stuff is all getting released.
That's the only thing I respect about that dude. Apart from anything, he's a businessman, and his whole
I like
thing
that he sticks to his word. I like that he sticks to his word as best he can.
Yeah, I mean,
compared to a lot of people in the past.
I think I could resonate with most people when I say that's the only thing I fucking respect about that dude. I don't give a fuck what he says. At the end of the day, he's a businessman. He don't like war. He don't like all that shit because it don't make sense. Like, for like what the past 4 or 5 years.
Okay, so this is where I separate it when people call him a businessman and they go, "Oh, see, he doesn't get involved with war." If you were a businessman, you'd be in war. That would make a lot of money. War makes money. War makes money on both sides.
Yeah, yes, but now you got to look at the equation.
War is profitable.
No.
Think about the equation.
Through history, war has always been very profitable for all countries involved.
Yeah, but
think about the equation, Simon. Think about it. You're getting less population and you're getting money growth on both sides. Yeah. So not only do you not have to split the money because you have less people involved, but the people that are on the top making the money weren't going to split it with the people below anyway. They wanted those people fighting.
That's a liberal mind state. No, you got to check.
No, right? That's a Republican mind. That's a Republican mind state. That's why we stayed in war. Republican.
Why is it? Why? Okay, look, Jacob. Look, why is it right that all of a sudden, Trump stepped in and that Israel shit stopped? Period.
Yeah, but why is it
because
our depression? And then all of a sudden we go to war and the country's
every time the Democrats stepped in, you see this fucking Gaza shit go on, Israel shit go on, war go on over here. Oh la la la.
I say all those conflicts are different. The reason that the Israel
it's a liberal thing.
Simon, the reason that the Israel stuff and the Russia stuff started on is because they thought that the U.S. had no backbone in actually stepping in and stopping it. We're still the world's strongest superpower. By far.
Facts.
I mean,
that's facts.
we pay more into NATO, into protecting other countries than all of Europe combined. And that's then, facts. Meanwhile, the people over in Europe are bitching at us about how we're taking care of what's going on in Gaza or what's going on in whoever Russia's fighting with right now. Like, we get picked on for all of that stuff. We have Americans inside of the country telling us, "Oh, you should have free healthcare," like Sweden, who hasn't paid in their fair share of NATO in who knows how many years.
Shit, damn.
But it's like the countries that we're compared to are countries that are falling apart because they can't even afford to keep themselves running. That's why we're talking about absorbing Canada, because otherwise Canada is going to go bankrupt if they actually have to pay their share into NATO. And that's what they're talking about with the percentages.
You can't do that because we own Canada. So
no, we don't.
We can't. Good luck trying to come. Hey, good luck trying to come get it from us. Good luck trying to come get it from us. We'll take Greenland next. We'll take Greenland next.
No, but I mean,
then we're going to have a severe other problem from the southern area. If we even think about taking Canada, that area, we're going to have so much trouble from down in Mexico. You wouldn't be able to understand the potency of it.
We just settled huge agreements with Mexico. They're now going to help us stop the drugs that are coming across the border. Like, the agreement that we just signed with Mexico was actually great.
Yo, this is stuff look, yo, bro, this is surface level stuff in terms of what people see, and I get where you're coming from. But I'm just saying, like, there's no way not being bad enough, in the US is gonna absorb Canada. Like, no way. Like,
No.
we've
The
been doing
financial
that shit.
system,
We've been
the
doing that
financial
shit
system
for
of
like
Canada is
since
going
like
to
1901. Like, yo, this is some deep shit. Like,
the financial
hey,
system of Canada has been failing for a long period of time, and they
of
don't pay
course,
their
but yeah,
value.
but
And so the problem is they're not going to be able to support themselves if they have to do what the other nations
exactly.
in
But
NATO
this
do.
ain't a concern. Like the concern right now is, you know, Trump is turning around and going, yo, bro, at the end of the day, I don't fuck with war because war ain't business. You know what I'm saying? If there's a war going on in the world,
That's why
like,
he's
ain't
not.
good.
And listen, that's why he's not starting a war. His war is going
Mhm.
to be done to the pockets because, like you said, he's a businessman. What is Canada getting hit with? Do you know what tariffs got put on Canada for their products?
Yeah,
I
of
still can't
course.
even understand why he would tariff Canada.
Because
No, no, no. Well, I
because of
mean,
the
no,
percentage
Canada is a
percentage
soft.
of trade.
Canada is a soft target
It's
right
because
now.
of the percentage of trade between our two countries as well as Mexico. That's why each of these tariffs was set up specifically. If you know the financial situation that Canada's in, they can't afford to do a deal like this. That's why they have to
Yeah,
come to
but
the table
Canada's a
or they
soft
will
target.
fail.
I'm just saying, like, in accordance to like what else is going on. Canada ain't fucking with nobody. Like, you know, you could put.
We're
a
not
tariff
talking
on
about
Canada.
war. We're talking economics.
Yeah, we're not even talking like they're not going to try to march across the border and take over Canada. I don't think that would happen.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean,
There'd be
I'm
no
saying
way.
like, so
That's
yeah.
why I said the
I mean,
51st state. That's why I said they're going to get absorbed. It's not going to be.
no.
It's not going to
UK
be
is the
a
51st
resistance.
state. Canada ain't the 51st state.
No, I'm saying
They,
UK doesn't
they're
want
like,
to be
no,
part of
no,
the US. UK doesn't want to be part of the US. And
no.
I would
What are you
assume
talking
that
about,
the
bro? What?
US I would assume the US doesn't even want to
Well,
absorb.
why'd you bring
I would
UK
think
into this if we weren't going to talk about it?
No.
because
The
because
UK is the 51st state. Period. That's
Britain
why
is
we exited.
technically
Go on.
I was going to say Britain is technically in control of Canada, and they should be responsible for it, and they should step up and help Canada out. But
But
the
they don't
UK is
give a
not going
shit.
to do it. They don't have the money
Nah,
to
we
do it.
do give a shit. Don't say that. But at the same time, I'm just saying, like,
So
the
do you
UK
think?
is the
Let me
51st
ask you,
state.
Simon. Do you think Britain's going to step up and help out Canada when this happens? Because the financial failure is coming. The question is anybody going to step up and help Canada not have to lose their country?
That's a good question. I mean, I can't answer that.
Because Britain is their mother, basically. They're in charge of them.
Yeah, you're
The
correct.
Queen's on their money.
Well, the Queen don't exist anymore. We got the King. But I'm just saying,
Still on the money.
Yeah, of course. Now, I
mean,
can't
history shows that
speak on
it's
that.
been very hard to control something across the ocean from your holding country.
No. That's no. Empirically, that doesn't make sense. You can't say that. You
What?
speak English for a reason.
The
I think
prisoners
that.
that were sent to America took over America.
You speak
Simon,
English for a reason.
Simon, the best example would be that the Americans wouldn't do well on a foot war over in England, as the English didn't do good in a foot war over in America. It's just it just made sense. Yeah, you don't know
What do you mean by that? No, what do you mean by that?
The Britons that were on the United States of America when the guerrilla warfare happened, they were getting swamped. They didn't stand a chance because they didn't know the terrain. Just like if we went,
that's a matter of force.
When the Korean War
they
happened,
were used to fight.
When Vietnam happened, you know how many casualties we had because we didn't know the area. Vietnam, we got messed up.
Yeah, but that's historic. I mean, I was thinking you talk about now. Like if some shit went down right now, it would still be the same thing.
Even now, the home team would still have the advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah, but numbers, you're right. The U.S. is way bigger. We could just overwhelm them, but we wouldn't do that to the people. It wouldn't make sense in war times today to just go take over a country. It wouldn't happen.
Exactly. Whoa, yo, what? Do you know how many countries the U.S. and the U.K. are stationed at? What?
Yeah, taking them over is a whole different thing. U.S. embassy is way different than a than a takeover.
Yo, like you think, look, empirical sort of constitutions have been laid out based on the premise of the fact that we laid that shit out. Like, and
There's
these
only one
countries
constitution.
are still.
Hey, Simon, you guys don't have a constitution, by the way. You don't have a constitution. My country has a constitution. Yours does not.
Don't go into me about constitutions, bro.
No, you just brought up the constitution. Your country does not have a constitution.
We laid out your constitution.
You do not.
What are you talking about?
You do not have.
You haven't. Look, you have a book.
Speech. You do not.
We have the right. We have the right in our country. You do.
No,
not.
you have a book. That's what you got. Like we have a flexibility. There's a difference,
and you're right.
Okay?
And
you have a codified book. Like South Africa,
people from Britain,
and the only reason
from Britain that came over and wrote our constitution, but that was when they were leaving Britain and said we're done with Britain. Those are the only.
That's why I came back to the thing. There's a reason why you speak English. There's a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like you could defy as much as you want. You could defy as much as you want. It was laid down by
my ancestor came on a ship over here as a slave, prisoner from England.
Were you Irish?
That's where my ancestor came from.
No, he's from. No, he sounds Danish.
I am Dutch.
There you go.
Exactly.
Those are the true Europeans.
I didn't. It was a high-ranking Dutch, and during the wars over in that area, he got put on a ship and sent to America.
Of course, but you laid down the foundations that you look the Danish.
They absolutely, from what I understand, they laid down those foundations, and they told the English to get the fuck out.
There's the Quakers and the fucking
yeah.
And the English couldn't support what they needed to keep this country English.
They didn't want to. They didn't want to.
They did.
After a while.
They wanted to. They just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
No, I mean we ran out of funds. That's what went down like now, right? So we're going through this time. It's the same thing.
That's what it comes down to, the economics again.
Simon,
you're right. You're right.
Why is Ireland a free country?
They fought for it. Exactly. It wasn't
when they're sick of the British running their mouth about how they're the boss, they just go, okay, we're done with this.
Exactly. Wait, look. People get sick of the English running their mouth. Look, I know this shit. I run my mouth. You know what I'm saying? People don't like to hear what the fuck I'm talking about.
We're American and we still run our mouths. Come on. We learned that.
Run our mouth about nonsense.
It's just ingrained. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yo, I don't fight my fists. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys are the fists. You're the heavy artillery. You know what I'm saying? We know that we're about intelligence. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's our strength. Period.
I wouldn't even say that Britain's in the top 3 for intelligence.
Well, who's in the top 3 then?
I'd have to give that to the South.
Who's in the top 3 then?
I'm going Far East for intelligence, where all of our chips are created.
Like who?
Like technology. We're all Taiwan, China, Japan.
That's adopted technology, and they got it all from Britain.
Oh yeah, because Britons are so smart.
Yeah, they're the first ones to come up with.
That's adopted intelligence.
When Britain releases their quantum computer, just let me know.
We're not about to make our people turn around and pay. That sort of like levy.
And a lot of that is popular.
And that's where Trump got smart. He knows what the fuck's going on.
I mean, Churchill had some good speeches.
What's going on, but
Churchill had some good speeches.
He brought in that leverage, you know what I'm saying?
It's been a long time. Who do you consider like a big leader in Britain right now that people like around the country or around the world look up to?
No one. Not right now. We need someone
new.
What
about a technical leader like a company?
But hey.
What about a technical leader like a company?
No.
Is there a leading company or anything?
No. No.
So I could just present Elon Musk to all of
Everything.
Britain and we'd win.
Bro,
in
he
this
just took
technology.
Bond, nigga. Like what? He just took Bond. Like what? You know what? He took James Bond like yesterday. I was like, what?
Hey, I got to see a rocket launch the other night.
How was it?
Damn,
That
that's
was
crazy.
pretty
It's
freaking
over.
cool, man. That was pretty
Yeah.
freaking cool.
Nice. I've never seen one in real life. That'd be cool.
See, Elon Musk
It
up
was
there
one
with
of
his
Elon's
chain show.
Starlinks.
What? He's doing an Eminem. You know what I mean? What? He's in a stand.
Dude, Elon
Bro,
Musk is on another level.
Yo, it's a different world. It's a different world. But it's brilliant. I love it because I think it's about time. You know what I'm saying? That we saw through the curtains. You know what I'm saying? Because we were saying this for ages. Do you know what I'm saying? This is not real. Like these politicians will step up with 1.2.
This is what I was talking about with everybody
like,
calling the public
clean
like
our shit. Like la. You know what I mean? We didn't buy
you're
that
right.
shit.
This is
No way.
You're right. This is what the public has thought for so long, and then meanwhile, our governments are telling us that we're lying about all these things. And that's why it's like,
Exactly.
yeah, the public has been waking up to this stuff for a while, and it's nice when you actually get a leader. Like I use Obama for a good comparison to Donald Trump because I'm a big whistleblower fan and I like conspiracies. And Obama's platform when he ran for president, he was going to help whistleblowers. If you go back at the Wayback Machine, you can look at his platform when he posted it on his website. He was going to help whistleblowers. And this was during the time of Julian Assange and who's the other guy? Edward Snowden. And he was trying to prosecute these people for coming out and telling truths about the government. And then all of a sudden he switched his platform and was trying to put these people in jail. This is the same guy.
Good old days. If you mocked your president, you just got shot dead and buried in the ground somewhere. I mean,
but this is the problem.
I'm glad
This is
punk
when
music stopped that.
you see, he said the good old days, the good old days. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that all about? You know what I'm saying? Like that. There's no freedom, like in terms of the foundations that was laid down in terms of our Constitution. You can't turn around and say the good old days.
Knock the Queen.
Yo.
Yeah, you knocked the Queen.
The Queen don't exist anymore. Look.
I understand that.
The Constitution was laid down for a purpose. Now the Constitution is being laid down, and like yo, boomers don't like it. You know, it's just like yo, we read this shit now. Like all the tapes being released.
I'm not a boomer.
It was a 30-year copyright on all this shit that went down that we are trying to like investigate and try and figure out in our own heads what is going down. Fuck the internet. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to do with the internet. People want to put it down like that. At the end of the day, we were smart enough. We was just like, yo, there's some shit going down. Now we're seeing it for real. People want to have a fucking grievance about it.
This is just the same thing that repeats itself throughout history. I agree with Tony. Everybody always speaks out against the leader. That was the big punk movement in Europe and in the UK was them speaking against the Queen. Again, all of these guys were speaking against the Queen.
Anarchy.
Oh yeah. Anarchy. I love hearing fucking what's his name? God, I always think of Algus Snow from Infinite Sorrow, but Russell Brand. I always think of him when I think of somebody saying bad stuff.
Don't mess with Russell Brand. God,
I love Russell Brand. I love Russell Brand.
That's a Tweedledee. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Russell
Dude,
Brand is a Tweedledee.
That's one of the few guys in England that actually makes moves to change his own government for the better.
Cool.
Yeah. You don't see a lot of public faces actually speak against the government and actually do something about it. He was actually helping with rehab, like drug abuse, and he went in and sat down.
You kind of have to be public to speak.
Yeah, you risk your life, you risk your family, you risk your whole. So
you have to be very public about everything.
Oh yeah.
You gotta look at this. If you look at it historically. Any public figure that spoke out about against the government got locked up, chained up, got their head chopped off. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it takes
as long as I don't get that damn iron mask, I'm doing good.
yo, it's still going on. You know what I mean? But in a subtle way, it's kind of different nowadays, but it's the same thing. But
Yeah,
it's not to say
thing, you know?
it's not to say the same shit ain't going on. Like, yo, these are the godfathers.
We're only talking
respectfully.
about our two countries. There's so many more countries that have different rules about it.
Of course, like, yo, there's this whole program on there's this whole thing like over here, right? We got this whole shit going on with immigration.
All right, in the other countries,
right?
Dig a hole. You know,
there are people being brought up over here, and like they're being held up in hotels, like at like $3,000 a pound, like on people's doorsteps when people can't even eat, sleep, or shit in their own fucking region. Like trying to get a job is hard.
Yeah,
and we have a fucking huge fucking problem with it.
I will say over the last few years, your area has got an influx of import that is your economy is definitely going to struggle and is struggling.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the pound went down. Look, I watch the stock market, so the pound went down, like, you know, and it's just like, yo. But at the same time, I'm just saying, like, it's a problem. Like, and there's this program.
It'd be a problem here if we had.
I can send you the link. It's called.
If we were actually connected by land, the problem would be here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not. We're an island, like literally. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, we're imperial, but we're an island. You guys got mass. You know what I'm saying? You got mass, and like it's not even like been built on.
I mean,
like,
we do have
every shred, every square centimeter we're building on. Based on the fact,
but I think that, but Simon, I think that's attributed to a lot of human characteristic. What I was talking about with everybody living on the coast, it doesn't make a lot of sense that the majority of our population is all on the coastline.
Mm-hmm. Why does all of Canada live within 100 miles of U.S.?
Because there's nothing above it.
Yeah, we got a state in the U.S. It's called Alaska, which is above.
Yeah, but there's not much going on in Alaska. I'm saying above 100 miles above the U.S. all the way across the border. There's not much past that.
No, there's not. I grew up about 500 miles north of the border.
Yeah, beautiful wilderness, but
I mean, yeah.
There's no oil over there. Like, you know, what happens is you need to.
There's oil over it. There's oil over there.
Oh, there's oil. Gold, oil.
Well, if there was, then jobs will be created, right? I mean, that was the foundation of it all. Like, no one's just building cities just for no apparent reason. You know, someone built that city. It didn't just happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you get up past the 100-mile mark on Canada, and those cities are 100 people.
It's because it's protected land. It's protected land. Like, you can't do that shit. Like, the people are just gonna go no. You know, nowadays anyway. Like, you could, like, historically when no one had those rights, but you know, Canada is part of the Commonwealth. Like, yes. they now have their own constitution. So like they're like, no, you know what I mean? Like, you can't even touch us, regardless of what you say. If it look, as much as you know, you want to be sort of like a force in the world, they're just like, no, I ain't even playing that shit. You know what I'm saying? And cool for you.
The problem with Canada, they're not warriors. Number one, they're not even a fighting country. Number two, they got limited resources within that 100 miles of the U.S. And they've been using it up for a long time. And the economics are going to get them.
I wouldn't say the economics are going to get them. I don't think they're interested in the same dynamics or political
100%
sort of stance.
Of their oil is imported.
Look, Canada has to say, like, not the same, you know, equal, but I'm just saying, like, they can, if they wanted to, dominate the same way the US does. We're talking about northern and southern hemispheres over here. Now, if you look at the land mass of Canada and their population, if they really wanted to rally their troops are, they're like, no, I ain't interested. But it just takes its starts. Like the US has a certain type of attitude, and we're like, yo, we rule the world, and that's facts. Like as soon as any president via Trump or post Trump or prior, it's just like, yo, I'm the leader of the world. I could push that button and we're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is some countries are peaceful. They don't want that. It's the same with us. We're like, yo, sometimes we just gotta think about it. Like we got the artillery, but it's just
you
like
got the military, yes.
But it's just like
I want to
why are we
respond to
gonna do that?
Gonzo's comment.
He said, I heard the U.S. got Alaska due to the Russians helping the North to win the Civil War. So Russia got $7 million as payment, but they couldn't say Russia helped, so we get Alaska.
No. We bought Alaska from the native tribe for absurd, I can't even say it, a pitiful amount. We bought Alaska from the tribes that pretty much were there, are still there, I should say. Nothing to do with Civil War, nothing to do with Russia.
Hey,
it
Simon,
was Russian land, according to Russia, when we did purchase it from the Native Americans.
Hey, Simon, who's Lady Sparkles?
Yeah, no, don't worry about it.
Oh, Shane, she tried to join, or whoever it was, they tried to join, and they wanted to say hi.
Yeah, no, that's
they
cool.
Were in the background. I just didn't know if I should let them on.
Yo, lady, chill, man. Like, now we're having a conversation. Like, this ain't that's beef set to shit. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I was just double checking. I didn't know.
Nah, good for you. Don't do that.
All right. And according to Russia, they still own Alaska.
Oh, I bet.
And they will at some point, depending on how their hierarchy goes. I mean, after failing to take Ukraine, that's pretty pathetic. But
I think
no, that's a regional thing. So like Russia, right? And there's this whole thing going with the European army. You know about that?
No.
Like in turn, yeah. So this is why we done Brexit, because we had to sort of think about it, because it's like, the European army is a big deal. That's like the United States of Europe, right? That's a big deal. That's a big move. So this is why I don't even like how Putin's moving, but I'm just saying that's a big deal. When you start moving like that, you're talking about another United States. That's how the United States came together, right? How many states you got?
Stop. You know why this happened?
Mm.
Because somebody reached out to the Ukraine and asked him to join something. Does anybody know what they asked the Ukraine to join, and what
NATO.
caused this whole war to start?
NATO. OT. No, have you seen NATO in reverse?
Okay, so how this started was Russia said, we're not going to give up any more land to NATO. And then we made a promise with NATO. And then what happened was NATO and Biden also was like, hey, why don't we have the Ukraine join NATO? And then Russia said, we're not giving you another inch. And then said, okay, we'll take back what we gave you before. That's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. Then they started annexing. They're like, yo.
And then meanwhile in the US, everybody's like, oh yeah, we hate Nazis. Well, we're literally funneling tax dollars to real Nazis that are alive in the Ukraine that actually fought in World War II.
Damn.
Like weird shit that I don't understand why people don't like. People don't look into anything. They're just like, oh,
of course,
where's all our money going?
Well, the media is the thing. I haven't watched the news in many years.
Well, actually, I think I'm going to wrap up here in a minute, but I wanted to hit everybody with this random fucking story I found. You guys got to tell me what you think of this. All right. Weird moments in history. This is Mary the elephant. Mary, also known as Murderous
Murderous
Mary,
Mary.
was a
Oh,
5-ton
boy.
Asian elephant who performed in the Sparks world famous show Circus. After killing circus employees Walter Red Eldridge on his second day as her handler in September 1916 in Kingsport, Tennessee, she was hanged by a crane near Irwin. So that's how they killed this elephant in 1916, because she hurt her handler.
Mhm.
What the hell? That's wild.
That's a little brutal.
Could you imagine?
That's that. Mhm.
What
That's
kind of
standard. You know.
cruel and unusual punishment is that?
Oh, yo, there was worse. This is like,
Yeah, I
like,
wasn't running
I've
my
been-
zoo well, so we ended the animal. Oh gosh.
Yeah. I mean, if we dig into how women were treated, in particular, or just people that were below the
Agreed,
line
Don,
that we,
obviously.
it is crazy, man. It's crazy.
I don't think they ever. I
But,
think that's why they banned the wild animals from circuses, is because they
well,
never had
you go-
such good handlers. They never had good handlers.
The really interesting thing, this is why I don't take away from when people turn around and say to me about populace and people and the color of this and whatever. It took a certain type of person, one person in particular, it don't matter what kind of skin color they had, to actually enforce that shit when it came down to the fucking populace of the law and the way we fucking live today. I would never fucking take that shit away. You know what I'm saying? People went out, stayed there, fucking like killed for us, died for us, like, put their family out for us to turn around and just eat some fucking McDonald's, Nick. Yo, like, I'll never take that. That's in my heart. I'm a soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. And like, people just take this shit for granted. Like, just living their life, like running around town, like, oh, good, yeah, who did that? I never. Look, every time I hear one of these stories, it gets me. That's why I do what I do.
It's because I don't know. It's something in humans that it's just like, well, when you see something defenseless, that the person with a brain should know better, and like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do shit like this.